I wanted to talk about chocolate candies versus gummy candies. I don't know if gummies classify exactly as candies. I'd have to look that up, but for the sake of argument, let's say they do. Um, I think there's a lot of suggestive names for our candies of the world. Um, you know, and sometimes they can make you think of certain things, um, and it's just it's not right, is it? It's a terrible abuse of power to you know change the names of because I'm sure the original names of the candies were much tamer, were much more respectful. But nowadays our candies are just lewd and rude and pompous and overtly flirtatious, and I don't know what they're trying to say. But anyway, I'm just going to go through some candies to show you the difference between the message of chocolate candies versus the message of gummy candies. Keep in mind, I do not know if gummies are applicable to the category of candies, but again, for argument's sake, let's say that they are indeed. So we begin with a Snickers bar. And Snickers, that rhymes with knickers. This Snickers makes me think of knickers. And why? That's what pops into my head. It's one of the first things, the first flashes of thought that I intuit when I see the Snickers bar. I think of knickers. Snickers, knickers. The next one, cherry ripe. Now, I'm going to leave that one up to everybody's imagination, but it paints a certain color of, that relates to a certain thing. I don't want to talk about it. It's really out there, really lewd, and yeah, I just don't know what they're thinking. What is the message? The next one, pinky bar. Okay, this is definitely saying something. Maybe you're putting your pinky finger somewhere. I don't know. Or maybe it's the color of walls, flat walls. Well, I don't, it's dependent on, I guess, a person's subjective imagery archive. But I know what it makes me think of, The next one is Milky Bar. Milky Bar. Milky. Milk a cow. We're going there now? Seriously? Seriously, candies? This is, and this is I'm still in the chocolate candies, right? This is seriously, it's alerting, it's alarming, pay attention. And of course, the Mars bars, the Mars bar, Mars needs mums. I mean, what's the message behind this? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Is it trying to allude in some, indirect way that, this is what a real man eats, the candy for real men, because then they'll be from Mars and then they'll be real men. You just take one bite and, oh my God, you're a real man. So, like, think about that. Think about that, But yeah, this is getting really alarming. The next one is Kit Kat Chunky. So, you know, this isn't the original type of Kit Kat. You know, that was back in the more, conservative days. Now this is the chunky one. This is J-Lo's ass Kit Kat. But, yeah, it's like, it's chunky, and it's not even the worst part. Then they came out with Kit Kat Chunky Gooey Caramel. So now it really is J-Lo's ass. And like, the candy is, just speaking to us all subjectively all the time. And it's twirling with a twirl that coincidentally happens to be a caramel twirl. So now you're thinking of J-Lo's ass, and you're thinking of milk nipples, and you're thinking of strippers, because what do strippers do? They twirl around a pole. And finally, for the chocolate candies. Oh wait, no, there's one more after this of chocolate candies, but Perky Nana. What does that make you think of? The Nana makes you think of a banana, which makes you think of something phallic, and the Perky makes you think of nipples. So it makes you think of boobs. It makes you think of tits, tit job, boob job, or moob job, which I'm not gonna be performing one of those, but seriously, this is really out there. Really out there, candy makers. Just, Oh, but then they try to downplay it. They try to downplay it with simple kisses. Now, kisses, oh, they're kind, they're sweet. Kisses. And this is flavored cookies and cream kisses. Hershey's kisses. And, but here's the thing. You open up the kisses, and, you pull the foil wrap of one of the kisses, and what does it look like? What does it look like? It's a nipple. It's a nipple. So you're meant to kiss the nipple. Kiss the nipple. What's going on there? Tastes good, but still, it's completely unethical. Now, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests to my YouTube video, now we're going to discuss gummies and the subjective message that is in every, you look at your gummy packets aligning your supermarket candy aisles, and you're going to find the message that I'm about to decode for you. So what do we start out with? Snakes. So once you start eating gummies, well, you're a snake. That's what that is. You're a snake. And a snake is phallic, but it's like a negative kind of phallic. It's not good to be a snake. Heracles strangled 2 snakes in his crib, and Heracles became Hercules when they translated his name. So Hercules strangled 2 snakes in a crib. And this is, so, when you start eating gummies, then all of a sudden, you become a snake that's going to be strangled by a baby. Strangled by a baby. And then that brings us, think about this. Snake strangled by a baby. And that brings us to Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch Kids. You're strangled by a baby. You're having a baby that's sour. Means responsibility. Sour Patch Kids. The worst gummy in the world. Horrible. Terrible. And that's not the worst part, though. The worst part is that after you're done raising your Sour Patch Kids, you've got jelly berries, jelly berries. Now you don't have any balls of steel anymore. I'm sorry, you're not Superman downstairs in your pants, man. You're jelly berries. You're jelly berries. Now, this is, when you get hooked on gummies, it just goes downhill. Now you're jellyberries. And then soon after your jellyberries, then your wife divorces you, and she's leaving on a jet plane. She's flying away, and you're watching the silver wings in the distance at the airport, and you're crying, and you're terrified of loneliness, and it's horrible. And then, obviously, what happens when you get older, after you've put this into perspective, her leaving, on a jet plane, you become a dinosaur. You become a dinosaur that's conservative, and you just, you say, "Get off my lawn," but you say it like in an old man way, like, "Get off my lawn, you two kids, you dirty bastard children, you're punks! Get off my lawn." I was terrible with that accent, but, the point is, it's all downhill when you start, chewing on gummies. It's all downhill. It's all downhill. They want you to be enticed by the perky nanas, by the chocolate candies to, have children. And then all the gummies are telling you, this is what it was all for. It all goes downhill. Anyway, that's been the video. Have a good day. I'm very upset about this, like our, abuse of power and all. Have a good day again. Peace, meow. Ah!